Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, whenever you're watching this. How are you today? How how was your week? How do you like the new Angle studio? We have Bentley over here, so even when he's laying down taking a nap, you can still see him. Still part of it. So, what are you drinking this morning? Um, or what are you drinking now? I am drinking Stephen Swift Jasmine Silver Tip tea. I'm trying to get through that plus. Remember, I said I'd like to get through my teas before ordering other ones. I had ordered some more of their tea. A couple of ones there is more for iced tea. So they have like this black jasmine they bring out there in summer, which is really good. And then I have another one. It's like they did a black lemonade, which came from the south. I love sweet ice black tea with lemon. So yes. So they have that as well. It's something new they did for them this year. So I will be brewing some of that soon. And in my tea, I have organic local honey and organic stevia. So yes. Anyways, yeah. So we were talking about art therapy. The picture, the picture right here. That is something I saw years ago. Actually, I think we saw it in Kirkland. Got it, loved it. Just Elming spell, and I felt like it spoke to the spa and what we wanted to do with the spa to bring that calm, relaxation, but also joy, and just be able to kind of get away from what you're dealing with and going through, but also be around people who understand what you're going through. So we put that up over the desk there. And then the other painting right here is actually from one of my best friends. She's originally from South Africa. She lives in UK now. She is one of the co-founders and board members of the spa. She loves art therapy. She's the one that actually talked about it and kind of introduced it to us. So hopefully we can get her to do some virtual classes or something at some point when we grow. But anyway, she painted that. So I saw this painting, loved it. Not that painting, but another painting somewhere. Loved it, took a picture of it, and sent it to her for her interpretation of it to do it. So it's more of the elements like earth, air, wind, fire with that painting. And of course, she also put a little symbol in there that's special to us that is kind of hidden in there. I think it's really neat. I love it. I always envisioned her doing different paintings for me and putting the little symbol in there for us. But anyways, so yeah, that's what those two are. I know I talked about my other friend's painting last week. It's over there, but we'll figure out how to get that for you. Anyways, so we're going to get into art therapy part 3. We want to talk about crafting and hobbies. There's so many things that fall under art therapy. So we've talked about like the performing arts, which would be dancing, music, and you could even add writing into a performing arts therapy. I would. So we've also talked about art in the form of painting, drawing, coloring, doodling, sketching. So any of those things. So we talked about that as well. But today we're going to add crafts and hobbies into this. Crafting is a form of art, and it can also fall under hobbies as well. So like you have like wood carving. Have this. So I ran into my husband and I went to an art show, not an art show, it was a Southern Christmas show, I believe, years ago. And a lady, she does these wood arts. And interesting enough, she had Disney wood arts there. If any of your Disney fans out there know anything about Disney, Disney doesn't, I don't know if it's changed, but used to, Disney would not allow their artists to sell their artwork outside of Disney. So outside of the stores, outside of Disney World or wherever. Most of those were more in Disney World, but they weren't allowed to sell it. If they contracted with them, they weren't allowed to sell it like at a show that they did away from Disney. So I looked at her and I asked her, I said, so how are you able to sell these? And she let me, she's like, you either work for Disney or you have worked for Disney. I was like, I used to. And so she had smartly negotiated her contract to be able to do that from when she wasn't there to be able to sell them. But she also made it's like a little hugging figurine, and she gives those to like hospitals and hospice and nursing homes and stuff, people going through things as well. So of course I got one for me and I got one for my mom. So you have wood carving, like even model building. So whether it's building model cars, building model, little model houses. I've seen those music box things and stuff in the craft store building. So you have those, pottery. Do you have like knitting, crocheting, cross stitching, embroidering, like designing? So whether you're designing clothes or any kind of art design to put on something, then you have making clothes. People who make clothes or quilting. You have or you make accessories, so like bracelets or jewelry or even like hairbands, any of those accessories, handbags. Then you have like diamond painting, you have sketchbooking, you have like, or even putting puzzles together. A lot of that. I mean, it's because puzzles, like you put it together, then you can actually glue them and frame them if you wanted to. So there's so many things that falls under crafting that can also fall under hobbies as well that you could do. And like I said, the whole concept is for you to get your mind off of what is going on. Because if you're sitting there in the back of your mind, worried or concerned about what is like your cancer, your treatment, what's it doing to your body, like any of that, if you just sit back gnawing your mind, like, oh my God, I got my test coming up, any of that, like, you're stressing. When you're stressing, stress does bad things to your body. Your immune system's also not doing what it should be doing, which is fighting your disease. So any of that, so the whole concept, you get your mind off of, you're doing these things, you're focused on that. You're not thinking about what's going on. You're focused on that, and your immune system, your body's resting, and your immune system's doing what it should be doing, and that is fighting the disease. No, I'm not saying this is going to cure your cancer or anything. I'm just saying, like, this is going to help you respond to whatever treatment path you decide to take. So you can also, another thing you can do is you can make your own greeting cards. Cards are, they're fun to make. Like if somebody's done something, sent you dinner, anything helped in any way, you can make a greeting card for them. Make them a thank you card. Like that means a lot to people. if you feel up to it. Of course, all of this is only if you feel up to it. And so, and if you're doing some of these things, keep doing it. Like, don't stop. Make time to do it. Don't say like, oh, I got to deal with this, so I can't do this, anymore. Lessen your time to do that. No, do it. Even if you have to go sit. I know when my mom did infusion, she sat there for 4 hours. 4 hours was her infusion. I know things have changed now, and most infusions normally not that long, but they. But I say this in a sense of like, take those things with you to do while you're there. I don't know how I know the infusion room where my mom got infusion for her chemo was actually set up. We could watch TVs. They had DVDs there. We could pick and choose and watch if we wanted to watch that, or watch a movie or whatever. So you have that option. My mom slept most of the time. I went down to the cafeteria, got me something to eat, brought it back. Brought the nurses stuff, something to eat back if they wanted anything. But yeah, and then I know she had to have some other infusion later, like years later when she was in remission, and they didn't have it, but she also wasn't there for 4 hours either. I think it was like 30 minutes or something, if I remember correctly. But yeah. Anyway, but if you're not doing any fun artsy craft stuff, what would you like to try? Is there something that's interests you, but you just didn't have the time? If that's the case, now is the time. So I remember, like, I've been doing cross stitch for years. Love cross stitching. Do it for years. Always wanted to try the diamond painting when it came out, but just never did. A friend of mine sent me a diamond painting to do. And it was like a bunch of doggies. It was really cute and loved it. So I've added diamond painting to my crafting. When I was a kid, I used to make bracelets. You use the DNC thread and make bracelets. I've done that. Most of us as kids, I think elementary school is when you typically do that. So friendship bracelets. So yes, I've done that. So you have that option. But that's what I like to do. I don't know. I just like to do anything fun and crafty. It's just fun. I want to get into pottery. I will say that's something I would like to try. Is pottery, but that's on my list. Take my own advice. Give it a try. Right, now's the time. If you don't know what you want to do, walk around the craft store. You can get ideas, or even latch hook. I'm like, I know there was something else. Latch hook rugs. Oh, I love them. I have one. Well, I made a couple, but I have one right here. Still supposed to hang, but it's of a sunflower. So giant sunflower. My mom had got me this years ago. It was like on sale for like, I think, less than $10 or something. Like, it was really, really inexpensive. And it's normally one of those that's like $50. And guys, this was like maybe 20 years ago. So that, that being a lot then. And my mom's like, oh no, we got to get this. Like, that's just too cheap not to get, right? So got it, made it. The house we lived in at the time, I hung it over the bed. We're gonna hang it up in here soon. So that's on that. So yes, I love sunflowers. I love flowers in general, but sunflowers are just like, you can't help but smile at a sunflower no matter the day. It's just so bright and joyful. But anyways, so yes, latch hooking. But yeah, walk around the store, walk around the craft store, get some ideas. Michael's actually has both virtual and in-person craft classes. Some are free, some you have to pay for. But yeah, you can do those. You can go online and look at those. The in-person free ones, I mean, they provide the supplies for you. So it's nice if you have a Michael's near you. If you don't, that's okay. I've noticed like some of the smaller independent craft stores do the same thing. So they have the craft classes and everything as well. So just kind of look up local craft stores. So even if they're smaller independent craft stores. And then I will say some of your specific cancer organizations offer both in-person and virtual classes for free, and they will actually send you the materials. I know there's an ovarian, couldn't find it originally, but I know one of the ovarian cancer organizations does it. But they're going to be more like your smaller ones that may do it. But yeah, look up like if you have pancreatic cancer, multiple myeloma, or lung cancer, just look up some of the different organizations, and some of them offer it. They do like I said, they do a virtual one. They'll send you the materials. You can do it with them. If you're not in town, or if you just don't feel like going out anywhere, it's free. Also, some of your cancer institutes in your larger cities provide this as well. So yes, you can look into that. And then, of course, if it falls in your budget, you can take a class or sessions that interest you, like pottery or woodworking. Sometimes your local community college, if you have one in your town, they'll offer classes for like a semester, really like inexpensive. So more versus than like a independent company. So like if you have like a there's a pottery studio in town, they offer classes. So what they offer may be a little bit more expensive than what the community college offers. So that's a thought. Some recreation centers in some towns or communities will also offer inexpensive classes. So you can look into that. Sometimes it's just being a member. I know the rec center where I'm at now, you can do like so many days of a membership, or it'll offer you so many like sessions. So, or like you can go and do things, whether it's enjoy the gym, enjoy one of the classes, or whatever. So you can kind of do that at your or what's best for you, like in your schedule, for instance. So in other words, it's better paying like $100 for a year membership. You're like, oh, but I'm not going all year. I just want to go for this class. Well, let's say the class is ends up only being like 5 days, 1 day a week or whatever for 5 weeks or whatnot. Why would you want to pay $100 for that? So when you could do it specifically just for, a lot less, just for those 5 days or 5 weeks, 5 days for that class. So yeah, definitely something to check out and look into. Or you can also like ask for as a gift from someone who wants to help. If somebody says, hey, do you need anything? Do you want anything? Like, honestly, it's like, hey, look, if it falls in your budget, like I would really like to do this class that so and so's offering, or that this place is offering, it it costs X amount of things. It would really help me get my mind off of things and be able to get out of class. When in turn, it will help me respond better to my treatment. They could do that. Maybe a gift card, give it as a gift. Anything that would help. Too. And it will say also, like, once you find your niche and what you enjoy doing, some people sell. You can sell, I think there's like, what is it, a Tidu app you can sell these things on. Actually, you can also, I think you can get ideas from, like, it's like a do-it-yourself app, Tidu app, as well. But two, I will say the one good thing that comes out of your journey is the community with the people who are going through the same thing you're going through. I say that in a sense that, so when I had my scare of the possibility of ovarian cancer, I remember when we were going for my final follow-up after my surgery, and we were sitting in the waiting room, and this lady comes through. Granted, I look a lot younger than I am, so a lot of people think I'm like half my age. So this lady comes through. I'm sure she probably thought I was half my age. And she starts talking to me because I'm seeing the oncologist, gynecologist, surgeon. So a lot of people she sees typically have cancer. Not everybody, but a lot of people. I was sent to her just to be on the safe side. Didn't think it was, but just to make sure. And what this lady does, this lady was battling ovarian cancer herself. She comes up, she makes these little things. She made it this way, and she made it just sits there. So no, it didn't break. It just sits there. So, and she made this one. And so she goes around and she gives them to patients who are there. She also gives them to, the receptionist or anybody who wants them. And she makes them herself. That's what she does. And then she brings them, and she brings joy to other people. She shares her joy. And of course, she sits there and gives encouraging words as well. And it was very lovely. And it meant a lot. She handed me the first one with the flower on it. I love flowers. And then I don't know if she just kind of sensed or just had a feeling or what, but then she gave me the one with the paw prints, which obviously I'm an animal lover, so that one meant a lot too. But yeah, can definitely, you have that community, those people who are going through what you're going through, and they're supporting you. They're bringing and sharing their joy with you. So you always have that, especially with the crafting. It's nice. So yeah. But two, leave in the comments, like, what kind of crafts do you do? If you do crafts, what do you do? What is your favorite thing to do? What would you like to do if you don't? Or even if you do something and want to try something new, what is it that you want to try? Is there, where, if you do this virtually with other organizations or people, who do you do it with? So leave all that in the comments. Like, share your joy, share your information. Other people can get in on it with you. All right. Well, until then, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support. And if you like if you like, don't forget to like. If you find this helpful, share. And don't forget to subscribe. By doing that, by liking and subscribing, if someone's looking for this, the more people who like and subscribe, the more it will pop up, or the more it will pop up for them to find the content as well. All right. Until then, enjoy your tea, and we'll see you next week under the willow tree.